Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. Friends, today was a great day to return to the Entitled Parents subreddit. It could be because it's a comfort zone, maybe. But also, I think you guys, as well as myself, enjoy the kookiness that are entitled parents and their inability to act like people from Earth. Anyway, so we have 4 stories out of that subreddit today. Let's begin. Our first story is by fredsred. Karen demands I get out of my wheelchair. A follow-up to, my son wants a ride in your electric wheelchair, get out so that he can have a go. Megatron Karen returns. One of my first posts on here was about a Karen demanding that I get out of my power wheelchair so that her son could have a go, and freaking out when I said no. I only had one other encounter with her since that happened, which I had hoped had been my last. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Megatron Karen strikes again. I'm a C4-5 incomplete quadriplegic, and although I do have use of my upper body, I still rely on my power wheelchair to get me around town. I recently received a new power wheelchair, and I'm still getting used to it. And although it looks slightly different than the old one, it's still a Karen magnet. This happened a few days ago when I was downtown doing my shopping. As I was leaving the mall, I saw Karen and her son, 12 years old, walk in. I wanted to turn and go the other way, but she had already seen me. In hindsight, I should have just stayed in the mall and waited for her to lose sight of me. But in that moment, I just wanted to get as far away from her as possible. So I exited the mall, hoping that Karen wouldn't follow me. But you know I wouldn't be here telling the story if that were the end of it. There's a discount clothing shop just outside the mall, which I planned to go to. So that's where I went. I was in there a few minutes when I had the feeling that someone was watching me. So I turned to see Karen and her son near the entrance, and Karen was glaring at me. When I looked at her, she immediately looked away, pretending that she was shopping. I headed into the plus size section, hoping that I would lose sight of her. But in retrospect, that was a bad idea. I call her Megatron Karen for a reason. When I got to the plus size section, I naively thought I was safe. But oh no, dear readers, it had just begun. I started looking through the selection of the racks when not long after I got the same feeling that I was being watched. I looked around and saw Karen at the end of the aisle, looking at me. But when she saw me see her, she looked away. Then came a strange game of cat and mouse. I went to another aisle and she followed me. I went back the same way and she followed me. To avoid causing a scene, I left the store hoping to outrun her. Unfortunately though, I was not that lucky. As I left the store and was going down the block, I got the same feeling as before. So when I turned around, wouldn't you know it, there she was. Me. What the hell is wrong with you, lady? Why are you following me? Karen. Excuse me? I'm not following you. Me. Okay then. Going the opposite direction to call her bluff. Guess what? The lunatic was following me. I could hear her coming up close behind, so I stopped short, causing her to run straight into the back of my power chair. The sound that followed was very satisfying, as she hit her knee hard into the bar that's at the back of my chair, hit her belly directly into the hook that's near the top of where my headrest can be placed, almost fell on her butt in an attempt to correct her balance. Karen. What is wrong with you? You could have killed me. Me. That wouldn't have happened if you weren't following me. Now what do you want? Karen, after muttering incoherent slurs in anger and pain from getting front-ended by the back of my chair. You insolent, get out of the wheelchair now before I call the police on you for assault. Me. Really, lady? How about you take a look above your head? Pointing to the CCTV camera directly outside the store that I stopped in front of. That will show you following me, as well as inside the store where we were in before, and the mall that you followed me out of. Please, Karen, call the police. I dare you. Karen. Me. Better yet, how about I call the police and press charges on you for harassment? Through the entire encounter, her son was trailing behind her with his tail tucked between his legs, with the look of embarrassment and shame on his face of what his mother is doing. Karen. More silence. Me. Getting out my phone and taking a picture of her face. This picture is time-stamped with my location. If I ever see you again, you will leave me alone, or I will show this to the police, who will be more than happy to review the cameras. Karen just stared at me like a deer caught in the headlights, with their mouth doing that brilliant goldfish impression. I left to continue my shopping. I haven't seen her since, but I hope she took my threat seriously. I didn't want to take things further because that would probably get docs involved, the Australian version of CPS. But if anything else happens, I'll be sure to post it. Thanks for reading. Our next story is posted by PaintedSequoia. Sorry for the snoring in the background. My dog's asleep in here. Mama Karen wants me to turn off my TV when her family walks by my apartment because her kid is grounded. I just moved moved into an apartment last week. So far, everyone I've met in passing has been nice. No one has been too loud, at unreasonable hours, arguing with each other, stealing parking spaces, and the typical shared space craziness. Yet, at least, only been here a week. I did, however, encounter a Mama Karen with a 6-year-old son. My apartment is one of those half-in-the-ground units with 2 other floors on top. As such, the top of my patio wall is level with a walking path. If I ever have my blinds open, you can easily see into my living room and kitchen. This honestly doesn't matter to me. The weather was finally really nice here. So after work yesterday, I opened my patio sliding door and blinds to let the cooler air in while I played Minecraft. After a while, I could hear a couple of women talking outside a few units down. Just general chit-chat. I also heard a smaller kid running around, messing with the gravel along the pathway, and generally being a bored kid while Mommy talked with her friend. Really no big deal at all. Then it happened. I heard one of the women call out for her kid. "Jason! Jason! Jason! Get over here! Jason!" Fake name for protection. I look up to see the kid standing on the path next to my unit transfixed onto my TV. Uh-oh. He didn't answer quick enough. Mama Karen came stomping over to him and jerked his arm to force him to look at her, while she yelled in his face about answering her and not to watch TV, especially someone else's. I thought the way she was acting was a little bit of overkill, but I let it be. He's not my kid, and I'm not a parent at all. Just my fur babies. 2 cats. I did pay attention for if things were to get worse to jump in, but I didn't stare. I only looked over when she called out to me to apologize for her son. No, not for her behavior. I said it was fine. Mama Karen took him back over to her friend and they continued talking. Eventually the kid started playing around near them again. Soon he was back over at my patio looking in and watching me play. Soon after that I hear Mama Karen yell at him again. This time he flinched. Hard. It broke my heart to see the effects of abuse in action and was just frozen staring at her. This time I jumped up and went over to my patio door. She was already at him by then, yelling at him again. I tried to interject to say I truly didn't mind that he was watching me play. This is where the Karen aspect comes in. She turns to me, sickly sweet, the demon gone for the moment, and kindly explained that dear Jason was grounded and not allowed to even look at a TV. I said bummer dude to him in sympathy. She didn't like that I addressed him and not her. I also don't think that she liked that I showed him sympathy instead of instantly taking her side, even though I had no idea why he was punished in the first place. I wouldn't doubt if it was something asinine, non-existent reason on her part, or her being bothered by normal child behavior. She then asked me something that blew my mind. "Can you shut off your TV when we're out here? We are usually outside time for about an hour a day. Can you shut your window and blinds?" Not gonna lie, the people pleaser I've been raised to be almost said, "Oh yeah, no problem," and I was going to do it. Then I stopped myself thinking, what? Telling me what to do in my house? I'm trying to have a shinier spine, so I told her no, I won't. Oh boy. That sure as heck was her trigger word. I thought she was going to reach in and jerk me around and yell at me like I was her child. The look was so instantly irritated. She again explained the situation, fully expecting me to cooperate this time. I again told her no. I came home to relax, and this is how I do it. She asked me if I have kids. Uh-oh. I'm solidly child-free, and according to the laws of parenting, my thoughts and opinions are completely and instantly invalid unless I, 1, pop one out, full-term crotch goblin, and I told her no, and she smirked. I thought so. I was all ready for a lecture on how to handle kids properly or something, but she just jerked her son away back towards the other woman, who I assume was still there. She said something as she went, but I didn't really hear it, so I don't know if it was to me, her son, or her friend, maybe even grumbling to herself. I hadn't seen those two before yesterday, but apparently they're out there for at least an hour daily around that time. There's a pool, a few barbecue pits, a grassy area outside my unit, in between the surrounding units/buildings. I get to see all the good doggos walk by and it totally makes my day. I really hope she doesn't cause any issues for me. I just want to live there and not be bothered. I'm not going to help her parent her child. No one else in the whole world should be expected to except her. I just don't get how she thinks that she can ask a total stranger to turn off their TV in their home because she's punishing her child. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm proud of myself for standing my ground, as brief of an encounter as it was, but I do worry for that kid though. Update. So, small development. I called CPS. I thought a lot about it since posting yesterday. I even consulted a few friends I know who have been on both sides, reporting and being reported. After telling them the story and hearing their experiences and their advice, I decided to go ahead and just do it. What really did it for me was while the kid may have done something to earn a grounding, and maybe the mom was just a really bad millennial that exploded in that moment, her physically jerking him around, yelling in his face, and especially his reaction pushed me to do it for his benefit. I did it anonymously because I don't know the exact unit she's in. I was kind of surprised that I talked to an actual person. At first she kind of had a tone of just taking a general complaint. As soon as I explained the kid's reaction, especially being completely nonverbal when being yelled at and shook, she took a little bit more interest. I was warned that this call didn't guarantee an investigation. Also, it could take time to start and even more time to conclude, depending on various factors. Me not knowing the exact unit number being one of them. So far I haven't seen Mama Karen or a kid today to play spy on, and that part, I'm afraid to ask around in case someone gives her the heads up. If she happens to bother me, I'll tell the front office. For now, because I just moved in, I don't want to make it seem like I'm going to be this strict, nosy neighbor that reports every little thing, even if it's a legitimate worry in this case. I will get an outdoor cam in a paycheck or two. I just moved in, and I'm kind of broke at the moment. Lol. Hopefully I won't have to update again at all, or it will be some time and we'll get some good news. If you're enjoying the content so far, please put a heart emoji in the comment section down below. Our next story is posted by AmITheAHoleCrybaby. Karen accuses a white boy of kidnapping his Asian sister. My girlfriend has a college friend named May. She was adopted from China and brought to the US as a baby. We were chatting in the dining hall when May told me a bizarre story that happened between her and her older brother John. Note, May is the only adopted child in this family. John's mom was busy one day and needed someone to pick up May from middle school, so she asked John to do it. Usually how it works is several supervisors watch all the kids and then guide each parent to the kid. When John approached this one supervisor, aka Karen, she was skeptical that this was May's brother. John explained his mom was busy, so she asked him to do it. He even showed his driver's license, but she was still skeptical. Karen told John to wait without calling May over. Apparently Karen tried to call May's mom and dad, but neither answered. By then, almost all the kids had gone home. May noticed her brother and tried going out to him, and the following exchange was something like this. May: "Oh, hey John." Karen: "Get back in the building. We can't verify who this man is." May: "Miss Karen, this is my brother." Karen: "Well, we can't verify him, so you can't leave with him." John: "Miss Karen, I am her brother. May was adopted. Didn't my mom tell you?" Karen: "For all I know, you could be some stranger here to kidnap a little girl. It's for her safety as well as ours." May and John were both getting annoyed, so they just waited. Before they knew it, the police showed up. Karen says that she suspected the young man of trying to kidnap his own sister and possibly be a child harasser. She also made snide remarks like, "I know, I wouldn't want my kid to be in this situation." John showed his license again, and May pleaded with the cops that this was her brother. John called his mom, and finally she picked up. When John told his mom what had happened, she was livid. Karen tried to argue it was for the kid's safety. "One mom to another, surely you must understand my position." John's mom was having none of it. She went off on Karen and accused her of being sexist for assuming that her son was a child harasser, and racism for assuming that they weren't related because he's white, and that she said if John was Chinese or May was white, she wouldn't have any doubts that they were related. Karen was arrested for false accusation and later got fired. I've heard of black caretakers being accused of kidnapping white kids, but I guess Asians aren't immune from this either. In any event, it sounds like May's got a good family behind her. Edit: I don't know if May's brother was on any sort of approved list of people to pick her up. She didn't say. Edit 2, Karen was arrested for making a false police report and disorderly conduct. She was fired, at least in part, for the racial profiling. Edit 3. To everyone saying this is fake, all I know is what May told me. Too long, didn't read. Karen assumes that a white boy is trying to kidnap his adopted Chinese sister. She calls the cops on him, and his mother busts her for a false accusation. Karen got arrested and fired. Our final post is by SpaceNightLife. Mother steps in front of my 60-mile-per-hour car with a flashlight. This just happened and I really need to vent. My store manager has given me time to cool down, but I'm really shaken up. I'm a delivery driver for a pizza place and I get an order in. I put it into Google and drive basically down the back alley ghetto of a neighborhood. I'm next to a house with a ton of old washing machines and restaurant equipment. I call the person as the delivery instructions told me I should. The mother picks up. EM. Hello? Me. Hello, ma'am. This is OP calling from Papa John's. I think I'm here. EM. I don't see you. Are you sure you're here? Me. Me, thinking I just got the wrong house. I'm sorry. Here, let me drive up the road a bit. EM. I think I see you. I live in North Carolina, so there are trees everywhere. I end up driving around for 20 minutes, feeling horrible. The mother is getting aggravated, and she realizes the person that she saw wasn't me. I keep telling her to put in an address, but Google says I'm right where she is. She asks if I'm in a trailer park, which I wasn't. She then puts her 14-year-old son on the phone. Entitled son. Hey, are you an idiot or something? Come to. Then he reads out the name of the trailer park letter by letter slowly. I put the name into the GPS and find it's 10 minutes away. I tell them and the kid gives the phone back to his mother. EM. This is unbelievable. I've been waiting for an hour now. 20 minutes. Me. I'm on my way. I'm so sorry. I hang up and go to the trailer park. I get there and call the number, no answer. I call again, no answer. I call the store, who tells me to take the second order back to the store. EM is standing in the middle of the road and she shines a flashlight in my eyes. I slam on my brakes and nearly hit her. She calls me an idiot several times, screaming at me, saying, "You never called," which I did. I ended up crying as I'm actually autistic and the whole situation triggered a panic/anxiety attack. The entitled son takes the food, snorts saying, "I work in delivery and this isn't even that hard." EM. I think giving stickers at Walmart is more your speed, idiot. Now get the heck off my property. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit post will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my videos, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I upload new videos. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.